Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TPSM here on YouTube. Tonight, my name is Charlie Limoncelli. By my side, Mason Johnson, your color commentator for the night. So if you don't know, TPSM stands for Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. We are a sports marketing club here at Oak Ridge High School. We try to get to our department specifically. We are the sports broadcasting team, and our job is to give you live football action. So if you're new here, welcome. We hope you enjoy. So looks like we got coin toss underway. Oak Ridge wins it, so they're going to defer. So we've got ourselves a little bit of time, national anthem still to be played, and then we're going to get to kickoff shortly. So hang tight, everybody, and we'll get you some football action in a couple minutes.
If you would, please rise and remove your hats as we honor our nation with the national anthem.
So that was the national anthem and the field show brought to you by the Oak Ridge Band. So tonight, it's rivalry week, Sac-High Sports, game of the week. It's Oak Ridge Folsom, storied rivalry. Mason, how about what's gonna What's going to be interesting about tonight's matchup?
Oh yeah, for sure. Both teams just have like lots of pressure on them, able to like make a name for themselves. Trojans looking to keep their undefeated streak. Folsom looking to go 5-1. So let's see what type of game we got tonight.
Yep, this is certainly going to be a good one. The Trojans are going to send out Alex Hensley. He is the place kicker, or the kickoff specialist, rather. We've got a lovely atmosphere. It's getting a little dark. We got some cloud cover, no rain. Oak Ridge student section showing up in droves. It's back in black, baby. Here we go. Hensley will boot it, and we are underway. They're not going to allow Folsom to return that. That's been the strategy most of the year. So Folsom will start out with the ball at the 20-yard line. So Mason, this Folsom offense, high octane, led by junior quarterback Austin Mack, standing 6'6", 215. He has had a stellar year, 168 yards, 66.7 completion percentage, and 12 touchdowns, no picks.
I mean, I'm just looking for this Trojans D-line just to bring the pressure, try to wrap them down, and just get opportunities for a yard loss.
So already a big play here for the Bulldogs. Up to 40, he's got room. Finally brought down at about the 23-yard line. Austin Mack passes it to number 44, Jace Mixon. Finally brought down by the Trojans.
Mixon, experienced guy for the Bulldogs.
So Mack and the Bulldogs getting set. Bit of running back motion, drops back, fires to the outside. Quickly wrapped up, but a completed pass. That's number 1, Rico Flores. Flores, a star of this Bulldogs team. 4-star Notre Dame commit. I mean, he is truly a special wide receiver.
For sure, a player the Trojans absolutely have to watch out for.
But the Trojans have the personnel to do that in Martin and Sutton. We're going to get a handoff here up the middle. Quickly brought down. That is Donovan Maxey Parler. So Parler's short run, but that's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now. Bulldogs in the red zone here.
Sweet, this Trojan defense can just hold them to 3 points and make up for that huge run.
So here we go, Mack from the shotgun. Still communicating with the coaching staff. Going to have a bit of motion here. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and a back. And we're going to get a penalty. I think that's delay of game.
Looks like the coaching staff on the Bulldogs were not on the same page and just could not get a play on time.
Actually, a false start penalty, so that's going to move Folsom back a couple yards. 5 yards. So we got 3rd and looks like 7 or 8 here. So the Trojan defense has only allowed 14 points this year. No, matter of fact, that's only 10. Only 10 points, and Folsom likely going to change that. Let's see what they do here. Parler in motion. Mack with the empty backfield. Drops back, pressure, firing, caught, that's Flores, and he's in for a Bulldogs touchdown. Flores just had his man beat, got open coverage, and could walk pretty much right into the end zone.
I mean, that just hurts for that Trojan defense. They've been stellar all year long and then just couldn't quite maintain Flores.
So now the Bulldogs with the extra point attempt. There's a snap, and kick is good. So the Bulldogs will take a quick 7-0 lead, and we'll be back for kickoff in about a minute. So we're back. We've got 9 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter after the quick score. Austin Mack to Rico Flores. Bulldogs getting ready to kick off, send it to the Trojan offense.
Those are two names the Trojans are going to have to try and maintain all game long if they want a chance to keep their undefeated streak.
Bulldogs kick is up. Trojans will field. Nope, they're going to give it a touchback. So Trojans will get the ball at the 20-yard line. That was Sebastian Sutton there. Decided just to have a touchback. So the Trojan offense has been really dynamite of late, led by senior quarterback Maddox Varela, number 4. Maddox on the year, 1,032 yards, 68% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, no picks.
And then his favorite two guys are Malloy and Edwards.
Can't forget Sebastian Sutton on the outside too. Varela takes a snap, quick throw, caught up to about the 25, maybe the 24.
This is what the Trojans need to do. Just baby passes, then see if you can have the confidence to do medium passes and big passes.
So that was Dwight Martin on the catch, the shifty running back. I mean, he's also been special, another senior, 284 yards on the ground. He's got the speed to score from anywhere on the field. Trojans setting up once again. Bigger formation. Gonna get some motion. Varela snaps, handed off. Here's Hall. Breaks a tackle, and with a bit of a surge here. Excellent gain and tough running from big Jake Hall.
Pretty good run by Hall. Looks like that push extended his run.
So now we got 3rd and short for the Trojans, already off to a good start offensively. Can't let this drive sputter out though. Varela takes the snap, hands it off. Here's Hall once again. Looks like he's gonna find that hole. Did he get enough? Yes, he did. They're gonna wave that as a first down. And that'll move the chains.
Smart play calling by the Trojan offense.
Yep, I like the decision. Rumor had it, according to many of the players and the coaches, that it was going to be a very run-heavy game script tonight. Trojans really don't want to test the Folsom DBs because they are stellar. But they're going to come out here in 3-receiver set. No one in the backfield for Varela. Takes a snap, looking, fires, quick pass. On the outside, that's Kai Reisinger, the senior tight end, one of Maddox's favorite targets. So that'll go for about 3, maybe even 2. They're going to call it 2nd and 8 on the scoreboard. Similar formation this time, a man in the backfield. Motion from the tight end. Varela's going to hand it off. Here's Martin getting his first carry of the night. And quickly he's going to get stopped. Didn't get too much there. So Martin, that will be his 27th carry on the season. And a rare stop there. Normally he gets at least 5 yards per carry.
But not with this Folsom Bulldog defense.
Yeah, they're certainly tough. So 3rd and long for the Trojans. 3rd and 7 to be exact. Varela gets set. Takes a snap. Looking with pressure, fires, and that ball caught for the first down on the outside.
Excellent pass by Vroa, able to find his man to the side and was able to get the first and move those chains.
Kai Reisinger once again the target of that one. So 2 catches for him already. And the Trojan offense doing what it's supposed to. A bit of a West Coast attack so far, and it's working right now.
West Coast offense is always good.
Bigger formation, 2 people in the backfield. Bit of motion, handoff with some space, runs into one guy. Oh, Jake Hall, a hard-nosed run, and does he get the first down? I think he does. Yes, sir, they're gonna move the chains on that one, and he's gonna be a monster all night, Jake Hall.
Let's see if Howell can be able to tire out that Bulldog secondary. And then have Vroa pick up the bones with passing.
Jake Hall, normally the goal line back, he's definitely the power guy in this backfield duo. 9 touchdowns as a rusher already. Looking for some more tonight. Heavy formation for the Trojans. Takes a snap, handoff, here's Hall. And he's gonna get good chunky yardage there. That's about 5 yards.
Looks like the Trojans are sticking to that run game plan.
Yep, and you got to credit the offensive line. They are moving people up front. Run blocking has been stellar right now. Trojans getting set. 2nd and 5. Varela takes a snap. Hand off to Hall. He's got a bit of room. Up past the 30, and looks like that's going to be another first down for the Trojans. So this Oak Ridge-Folsom rivalry lasted a very long time, but Folsom has won 17 straight contests. The last time the Trojans won was 2006. That's 16 years, folks. It has been 16 years since a Trojan win. That's 1 year younger than me. It's crazy.
That is Charlie.
So here we go. Sutton, the lone receiver on the close side. Varela's going to hand this one off. Out to the right side, up for a gain of a couple. That's Caden Koshik this time. He's had himself a pretty good year in the backfield as well. Koshik, 204 yards on 21 carries and a touchdown. So officially 2nd and 8. Varela getting back to the huddle after receiving word from the coaches. Gonna give up the play call. Jumbo formation once more. Snap, and it's a handoff. Hall breaks a tackle, and he's gonna get up to about the 22-yard line. Another big run, and he's just chipping away.
That was a tough break for the Folsom Bulldogs. Just couldn't quite wrap him around, and then he was just able to get away.
And I love this old school smash mouth style of football. I think if they keep doing this all night long, they're really gonna gash Folsom.
Especially that secondary.
So Hall in the backfield once more. Oh, we're gonna get some motion on the Trojans. That's Caleb Edwards, the sophomore. Gonna be called a false start. So that'll send the Trojans back 5, and a costly penalty there on 3rd down. So now the Trojans will bring in some more receivers. And notably, Sebastian Sutton out. He'll stay on the sideline for this one. Guth Miller, Hayward, Edwards, and Gavin Malloy, the tight ends and receivers for this one, as well as Dwight Martin. Varela drops back, looking deep. He's got some pressure, rolling out to his right. And finally, he's brought down by the Bulldogs. And that's going to be a costly sack for the Trojans.
It all started with Edwards with the penalty, and then just followed up with the Varela loss of yards.
Loss of 4, and that's going to bring up 4th down and the kicking unit, led by Carson Nichols. Nichols hasn't had to attempt a lot of field goal attempts so far this year, mostly extra points. One of the top players in the nation in terms of extra points scored. Snap is down, ball is up, and that one's through. Carson Iceman Nichols. A big field goal for the Trojans, and that's going to send it to kickoff in about a minute. So after the field goal from the Trojans, we've got a 7-3 ball game. Minute 30 left in the first quarter, and Folsom about to receive this kickoff. So here's Hensley to kick. Kick is up. Sailing back, that's going to be returnable. Up past the 20, here's a hole. And showing some serious speed. Cutting back, finally brought down. Just after the 45, so that's about a 43, so mark that as a, 60-yard gain? That was big.
I mean, if I were the Trojan special teams, I would have just kicked it into the end zone for a touchback because you just saw that happen.
Exactly. I think normally that's the strategy, but Hensley must not have gotten enough on that one to send it all the way out. So in any case, Mack and the Bulldogs will set up. Dropping back, looking for Flores, caught on the slant route, finally taken down, but not before Flores picks up a first there. Oh, not quite a first down, but almost.
Just about a foot short, an inch short.
Couple of inches, really. 2nd and short. Man in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Mack fakes the handoff, dropping back with pressure. He's going to air it out. And too far on that one. Intended target. Number 80, that is Brian Ray, the 3rd wide receiver. He's a junior standing at 6'1". And we got a flag. Looks like that's on the Bulldogs.
This flag's on the Bulldogs. This will be huge for that Trojans defense.
So talking with Coach Taylor, seeing what he wants to do with this penalty, accept or decline. Ineligible receiver down the field on Folsom. That's a 5-yarder right there. And a loss of downs. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Costly mistake by the Folsom offense. And let's see if this Trojan D can capitalize it.
Not 3rd and 6, 2nd and 6. Excuse me, folks. So in any case, Bulldogs set to go. Mack takes a snap, hands it off, and quickly swallowed up. That was Abram Woodson. Yes, Woodson with the carry that time, his first of the night. Didn't go too all far with it. 11 personnel here for the Bulldogs. Running back motion. Mack nearly loses the snap with pressure. Rolling out to his right. Caught over on the right side of the field for a first down. That's Mason Norberg, the tight end. Another one of the leading receivers for the Bulldogs this year.
I also felt like there was a Trojan able to wrap around the ankles for a sack, but just couldn't quite able to do it.
But with that play, we will send it into the second quarter, and we'll be back for that action right here. So here we go, back for second quarter action. Folsom with 1st and 10 at about the 26-yard line. I just got word, Mason, that field goal that Carson Nichols kicked was a school record 48 yards, as Mack throws that one incomplete deep to the end zone.
I don't think that record will ever be broken.
So now we got 2nd down and 10 to go for the Bulldogs here. Similar formation, 3 receivers, tight end, and a back. Mack takes a snap, hands it off. And the Trojan line is there to wrap him up pretty quickly. Once again, Abram Woodson doesn't go too far. So 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Definitely not 4-down territory just yet. If they can't convert here, I think they kick a field goal. Mack gets set. Motion from Norberg. Takes a snap with pressure over the middle. And that's a first after a good stiff arm and run out of bounds. That's Colin Gallagher. Another one of the tight ends for the Bulldogs. And speaking of Bulldog tight ends, star player Walker Lyons injured early in this season, broke his leg and out for the year. He was one of the biggest recruits out of this Folsom team, and unfortunately his season cut short.
I mean, that's just heartbreaking for a guy who's just absolutely incredible with at the tight end position.
So that run only goes for about a yard. The Trojans were there, Hall and John Hayward on the tackle. Oh, we're going to get some movement here. And that is a Penalty on the Trojans, so that'll move it up 5 yards. So now we got 2nd and 5 here. So the Trojan pass defense has not been so good, but the run defense, they've stepped it up tonight.
They for sure have. See if that pass defense can follow up.
Mack snaps, firing over the middle, caught, and breaks free. That's a touchdown. That is Brian Ray. Another big catch for him. So Mack finds Ray on a good route, and he tackles Sebastian Sutton, tried to wrangle him backwards, couldn't get it there.
I mean, that is a huge costly mistake from that Trojan secondary.
Oh, here's a flag. False start on, that's going to be against the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs will go back 5 yards before attempting this extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So that's going to put the Bulldogs up 11, 14-3. So we'll be back for the Bulldog kickoff right after this. And we're back here on CPSM for the Bulldogs kickoff. 10:41 left to go in the second quarter. Another quick score from Folsom, and Trojan defense looking a little sloppy.
I mean, they showed it there, just like allowing Folsom to add another touchdown to the board.
Kickoff is deep. There's Guff Miller, and they're going to call it a touchback. So the Trojans will take it out from the 20-yard line to start this drive. So Mason, last year, I don't know if you remember this, but the Oak Ridge Folsom game was at Folsom last year, and former Sacramento Kings player Tyrese Halliburton was there. He's since been traded to the Indiana Pacers, but he was a high first-round pick for the Kings a couple of years ago, really ingrained in the community. Sad to see him leave. But the NBA, business as usual, I suppose. So the Trojans getting set. Bunched receiver formation. Might see a screen here. Hayward will finally move out wide. Varela rolls out to his right with pressure, firing. Hayward caught, and he's got some space. John Hayward past the 50. Can he outrun them? To the 45, finally brought down at about the 30. A big gain for John Hayward in what was his biggest reception in a while.
Excellent pass from Varela, able to execute and find the open man for a big gain. Almost in red zone territory.
So the big gain there on a really great throw from Varela, and Hayward does a great job coming back to that ball. So now we got 1st and 10 into Bulldog territory.
Pretty sure that was a comeback route.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a comeback route. I agree with that. So here's Jake Hall in the backfield. Might be a run to him, if I had to take a guess. Varela's going to drop back. Firing deep for Sutton. Can he get there? No, that ball nearly picked off. R.J. Witten was the man in coverage there. And chirping a little bit at Sutton. This matchup may get interesting. Witten and Sutton.
Varela almost took the risk and almost paid for it.
Yeah, that was risky play. He needs to dial that back. I like the aggressiveness. I don't like the ball placement. So 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Varela's going to hand it off to Hall. Finds a bit of a hole and gets up. I'd say that's a gain of about 5 or 6. So Jake Hall, hard-nosed running. He's been doing great with that all season, and especially here tonight. So they're going to call it 3rd and 5 officially. Big 3rd down for the Trojans. Need to convert.
Kind of thinking maybe like a short, medium pass, like a drag route or some sort.
Yeah, I like that play call. I think that could work, but we got a heavy formation. Varela's going to roll out, firing. Sutton caught. Does he have the first? Yes, he does. They're going to move the chains. Sebastian Sutton doesn't get the other one. He gets this one, though.
Excellent throw by Varela. Able to find Sutton for a 1st down and move those chains into the red zone.
Yep, I think they've got to stick to this West Coast kind of short passing game. Taking risks downfield, not an option unless you've got a really good route and you've got the man beat. Jumbo package for the Trojans. Hall's in the backfield. Little bit of motion. Takes a snap, handoff. Hall out to the left. He's got some space. Finally past the 10, up, and that's a Jake Hall touchdown. The Trojans fight back.
How absolutely sensational run on the outside, able to just turn the corner and turn on those jets and get in for 6.
Excellent run by Jake Hall. Finds his way around, uses that speed that he so clearly possesses. Gets to the outside and makes the Bulldogs pay. So that's his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. My, oh my. It's now the Trojans with the extra point attempt. Here's Nichols after the school record tying breaking field goal rather. That one's up and good, and the Trojans bring it within 4, excuse me. I can't do math apparently. So in any case, we'll be back as soon as the Trojans kick it off right after this. All right, and we're back here in Trojan Stadium after the Jake Hall rushing touchdown. Alex Hensley getting set to kick it off.
I'd like to see the Trojans secondary to kind of step up on the passing game to see if they can limit the ball in the air.
Hensley sends it away. That ball is high and deep enough. That won't be returned. I think that was a smart play. Don't want to risk Folsom gashing it all the way for a touchdown, as they've shown they likely can do.
With that 60-yard plus from earlier especially.
So Mason, one of the key differences in this year's Trojan team is I think they're so much more bonded. You know, last year it was a bit hectic. Varela came in mid-season as the starter, but they've had a whole offseason together, especially with Coach Taylor, and they've really bonded and lifted together a lot, and I think that's one of the keys tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that offseason was just able to help build chemistry for this historic season so far.
And that one up the middle on a little bit of a draw play. So that's going to be a big gain of about 7. Donovan Parlor there on the carry. So just under 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. We've already got some back and forth action. Mack and the Bulldogs set. Another handoff. Parlor again, and he gets tripped up pretty shortly. I think he barely made it past the line of scrimmage.
There's that Trojan stellar defensive line able to trip up around the ankles for a pretty good loss.
So that one will bring up 3rd and 3. Stellar D-line play. They've really been stopping the run for the most part. So now the Bulldogs, short distance here. And once more, they're going to hand it off, and he's through. Parlor with some space. Past the 50. Trojans can't quite close. Parlor to the 20, and slows up a bit, and finally tackled. He thought he had it. He slowed a bit, but Sebastian Sutton was able to get there.
Sutton not giving up on the play and definitely did not want to give up 6 more points.
Very good defensive effort from Sutton, but if you're the Trojans, that's a really bad play, allowing Parlor to just gash you up the middle when you've been so good so far. They've got to clean that up. So Mack, he's got a couple more tight ends. Only Flores is on the outside. One running back. Here's Parlor. Flores motions. Drops back with pressure. Caught over the middle. That is Mason Norberg, an easy touchdown. He was pretty much wide open. No coverage, really. So big defensive mistake for the Trojans. Bulldogs with another touchdown.
That was a pretty quick drive for that Bulldogs offense. With this extra point, they'll be able to extend their lead by 11.
So now senior kicker Jake Tremaine with the extra point attempt. Snap, hold, kick, and that one's through. So the Bulldogs will take a 21-10 lead, and we will be back after the kickoff gets set up. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the second. So here we go after the Bulldog touchdown. Mack to Norberg. Trojans have Tyler Guthmiller and Jaden Anderson as the return men. Folsom still trying to set up the ball. Looks like Tremaine's having a bit of issues, and they're going to have to hold it as if it were a field goal. Tremaine's kick is away. Still deep. Guthmiller will get waved off. That's a touchback. And the Trojans once again will take it out from the 20-yard line. So, Mason, I think one of the key things Folsom's been doing is they've really worked the middle of the field, especially with the tight ends. We saw that on the last touchdown to Norberg. And I think the Trojans really have to get on that coverage over the middle. So the Trojans will come out with a heavier formation. Jake Hall in the backfield. Varela takes the snap from the shotgun. And two fakes with pressure rolling out. Varela is going to heave it. And that ball nearly picked. Ill-advised throw. He should have thrown that more out of bounds rather than just up. But he avoids catastrophe there.
That was a pretty scary incomplete pass.
So the Folsom D-line has been relatively dominant. They've been forcing Varela's hand. He's not as good when he's under pressure. When he has time to throw, he's one of the best. And that was really the issue last year. He barely had time to throw. But here we go, 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Wide receivers are out this time. Varela drops back, quick pass. That's Malloy, braces for a hit, and that'll be about 4 yards. Farther than that, that's going to be about a 6-yard gain. So the Trojans doing a good job on that play. Kept it short. So crucial 3rd down for the Trojans. 5 minutes 45 and counting. Trojans watching for the offsides on Folsom. Varela takes a snap. Over the middle, that's caught by Reisinger. He's got the 1st down there. And up to about the 37-yard line. Good pickup for the Trojans.
Maddox had some time there, didn't panic, and was able to get that first and move those chains.
Yep, doing what he does best in the short yardage. And really solid throw. Very good to see in terms of getting things moving. Sutton out wide, but this is going to be a handoff anyways. Koshik stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of a couple. Officially loss of 1, it looks like. So that'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Trojans. And the Oak Ridge student section, the Ozone, getting into it. A little bit of a slower song at the moment. But they have certainly brought the energy tonight in what is a sell-out crowd. All 5,000 maximum occupants are here in the Trojan Stadium, excuse me. So 2nd and 11. Varela's going to heave this one deep. That ball caught! Oh my goodness, what a diving grab. That's Sebastian Sutton doing what he does best.
Able to extend his arms and just way out for the spectacular catch.
And Sutton playing with a wrap on his hand, did the same thing last week. Really hasn't hindered him. He's such a good athlete. He can make all sorts of one-handed grabs. And playing with that wrap, he's making it work.
He even did it with a little pressure too and was able to air it out.
So big run from Hall. That'll get about 5 or so, probably a little more than that. But big chunk play for the Trojans. Deep, not deep, but about midway through Folsom territory. 2nd and 5 upcoming.
See if the Trojans can just take baby steps into the goal line.
Varela in the shotgun, drops back, rolling out with pressure, finally throws, and through the receiver's hands. That was Sutton. No good on that one. That's 3rd and 5 now. So I look for Kai Reisinger here. He's been clutch on these 3rd down passes from for the Trojans, rather. I would expect to see him again here. And he in fact does sub in. Varela running back to the huddle after getting the plays from Coach Taylor. And they're going to have a bunched formation. Hall in motion, likely going to be a blocker on this one. Empty backfield, Varela rolls out. Flag on the play, and scramble. Oh, bit of a horse collar, and they're going to get the flag in there.
But let's also see what that first flag is about, too.
Yeah, I don't think these will be offsetting, but we'll have to see what happens. So let's see what the officials are going to call here. Going to get penalty on the offense. Personal foul on Folsom. We're going to get negating penalties, and they're going to redo the third down. So I think the yardage would have weighed that one in Oak Ridge's favor. So personal foul is 15. Looks like the penalty on the Trojans must have been about the same. Might have been an illegal block.
That was a scary play for Varela, as we saw a scary play with Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa last night.
Very good point. Yeah, that was a scary injury. You can see afterwards Tua didn't have control of his hands. His fingers were a little weird, but since recovered, he's out of the hospital, which is good. Varela rolls out.
He's in good spirits as well.
Time to throw. He's going to roll out even more with pressure now. And he's going to get brought down before the line of scrimmage. Didn't see anything. And costly there. That's going to bring on the extra point unit, or the field goal unit for the Trojans, I would think. So looks like we're going to get a timeout by Folsom, and we'll be back as soon as that's over. So we're back, 4th and 6 after the sack by the Folsom Bulldogs. Trojans will send out the field goal unit. Carson Nichols ready to go once more after the record-breaking field goal in his last attempt. This one's also going to be a pretty long one.
If I'm this Trojan defense, I'm capitalizing and making sure the game stays within
Kick
8.
is up, and it's through. Carson Nichols once again delivers in the clutch, and the Trojans will cut the deficit 21-13. So we will take a short break, and once kickoff gets set to go, we'll be back. Trojans set to kick off. Alex Hensley leading that charge. Stretching out a little bit before he gets going. Bulldogs have their receivers ready to get it, but I would not want to test them if I were the Trojans. Here's the kick. That one way deep. And good strategy from the Trojans. Don't want to risk Folsom returning it. So the Bulldog offense, 3 drives, 3 scores for them. They have not been held to a stop so far tonight, which if you're the Trojans, you've got to get that. You've got to stop them here before halftime. Can't let them pour on another score.
Because then that changes your whole momentum going in the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, Trojans will get the ball to start the second half, but even still, you got to keep the score close. So in any case, Austin Mack leading the charge, takes a snap with pressure, gets the ball off, but that is dropped. Brian Ray, rare drop from him. Just bounced off his hands. Trojans lucky, he was pretty open.
Pretty good start for that Trojans passing defense. Let's see if they can be able to capitalize for a couple more downs or maybe even more.
Haven't seen much of Rico Flores tonight. I'd expect to get him started soon. But in any case, we're going to get a handoff outside, up and out of bounds, shy of the first down, I do believe. Abram Woodson once more on the carry. Turned his night around a little bit after a couple of gains where he got swallowed up. So 3rd and 2 officially. Ball went out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Bigger formation for the Bulldogs. Handoff. Woodson gets the first down there on a pickup of about 5. So now the clock will run. So 1st and 10 for the Folsom Bulldogs. Max takes the snap, dropping back with time. Pressure, no, and he's finally brought down. The Trojans get home for a sack. Connor Desmond, he's been doing it all year, and he does it once more tonight.
I mean, this D-line has been quiet so far tonight, but not until that sack right there. Let's see if they're able to use that as a momentum propeller.
So that's going to bring up a timeout by the Bulldogs. But still, we've got 2nd and 17, so the Trojans need to stay home and not allow anything really here. They gotta force a turnover on downs. And Folsom side of things, you can see it in the background of the picture now. Fans have showed up for Folsom. Pretty much the entire entire opponent side bleachers are filled. Folsom student section quite significant. But out of the timeout break, here we go. 2nd and 17. Mack, no one in the backfield. Bunch of receivers. Drops back. Pressure. Can't get him yet. And he'll be forced out of bounds. So good play defensively for the Trojans. So Mack will pick up 1 or 2 there.
Now let's see if the Trojans D-line or secondary can put a statement on this drive and force them to punt.
That would be huge. So 3rd and 16. Bulldogs still dangerous. Mack drops back. He's going to try a screen pass, and it goes incomplete. A big stop for the Trojans. They'll force a punt here. So credit this Folsom program. They are seriously one of the top teams in California, ranked number 8 in the whole state and number 1 in the Sacramento area. You can tell why. They are, seems like they're coached different. Obviously, you know, open enrollment helps. They can get players from all across the state, which is nice, but it's a very special program, you must admit.
Folsom coach is also able to interact with Alabama college football head coach Nick Saban.
Fair catch, Jaden Anderson. No, not Anderson, that's Sutton. He'll get it. That's about the 30-yard line, so that's where the Trojans will set up. So Oak Ridge, prime opportunity to bring this game within a few.
Especially with the timeouts they had to spare.
Yep, all 3. This is a big drive. And they get the ball back to start the second half.
So let's see if the second quarter could be the momentum turning point for the Trojans offense going into the second half.
3 receivers, Jake Hall in the backfield. Varella's going to throw this one with pressure. Screen pass. Hall's got it. Breaks a tackle to get back to barely the line of scrimmage. And clock running. Looks like he did not get out of bounds.
If I'm Coach Taylor, I would not burn my first time out yet. I would maybe wait till I get up the field just a little bit farther, and then I would kind of start to use the timeouts.
Trojans at the bare minimum need a field goal here. Can't come away with no points. So 2nd and 10. Martin in motion. Varela firing outside. Caught. That is Hayward. His second catch tonight, and that'll be a first down. So clock stops now at 52.
Excellent idea for going out of bounds. Able to save a timeout as well.
Heads up play from Hayward, who is really a special receiver. We saw in the preseason, showed off his unique elusiveness, but also very sure-handed, as we saw with that big gash earlier in the first quarter. So here's Varela with pressure. Rico Flores comes screaming across, but Varela gets the throw off, and that's Kyle Reisinger, the sure-handed tight end.
I mean, Rico just absolutely was shot out of a cannon. Just couldn't quite get the sack.
He started from about 10 yards back on the safety blitz, but Varela, way to keep his cool. So once again, we've got, oh no, this looks like 2nd and short. Chains have not moved yet. So here we go. Varela takes a snap, fakes the handoff, pressure, screen pass to Reisinger with some space, breaks a tackle. Can he break 2? Yes, and he gets out of bounds. What a play from Kai Reisinger. Another catch, and so far he's been the star of the show tonight.
For sure he has been.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 29 now. Trojans within striking distance. 35 seconds on the clock. This could be a huge score here.
The goal is to also make sure you don't give Folsom any little bit of time for them to try and spice up something before the second half.
So here's Varela dropping back. Quick pass. Caught. And out of bounds. There's Reisinger again, getting a little chippy with the defensive back. That is R.J. Witten. Oh, we're going to get a flag here. And that's going to go against Folsom. Looks like a late hit. So this penalty, pretty crucial now. Look at this. All the way up, 15-yard personal foul. For roughing the passer, I do believe. Costly error on Folsom's part.
That wasn't really necessary from the Bulldogs' perspective. Absolutely not.
No, but you know, sometimes you can't stop your momentum if you're a defensive lineman. You know, we see that in the NFL all the time. But yeah, there's no place for roughing the passer in the game. I agree with that. Three receivers, tight end, and a running back for Varela. Takes a snap, hands it off to Hall. Met quickly at the line and brought down for a gain of nothing, I think. So now we're going to get a timeout by the Trojans. 25 on the clock. And second down. So we'll be back once the timeout break is over. So here we go. Trojans lining up, 2nd and 12. They're within striking distance here of the end zone. Hayward in motion a bit. Trojans set up. Varela loses the ball, and Folsom picks it up. That is a nasty turnover, and the Trojans lose out on a huge opportunity.
I mean, that absolutely had to sting Varela. They were in perfect execution in the red zone. Just lost the school. Ball comes out.
That's a costly turnover. Lucas Hardiman, the junior defensive tackle, the one with the strip sack. And that takes the wind out of the Trojan sails. So 19 seconds on the clock. I would expect Folsom to dial it up. Perhaps Rico Flores, we'll see an appearance from him.
I'm sure that's going to haunt Varela in the second half if the Trojans can't do anything to make up for it.
Mack dropping back, fires, caught. That's Ontario Smith Jr. brought down at 50. Clock is running. Now there's a timeout. So Folsom trying to get into field goal range at least.
I'd say they have a couple plays to try and make a touchdown pass, just like get it near the 20-yard line out of bounds.
Yep, they certainly can get within field goal range, but we'll see. Could be a tall task, depending on how this Trojan defense plays. So 21-13, 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Bulldogs have it at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10.
See if this Trojan defense can get the offense a momentum push into the second half.
But here come the Bulldogs. Offense getting set up. Flores Jr. on the close side, matched up with Dwight Martin. I'd watch the close side of your screen, folks, the bottom of your screen. Mack dropping back with a bit of pressure. He's going to scramble. Steps up, fires, nobody home. Went out of bounds. So 2 seconds left on the clock. Looks like we're probably going to get a Hail Mary or maybe just a kneel here. We'll see. But excellent pressure from the Trojan defensive line.
I mean, yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, I mean, you just gotta air it out with just only 2 seconds, no timeouts. Just gotta chuck it.
Yep. And it looks like that's likely what they're going to try. Flores again matching up with Martin on the bottom of your screen. And Trojans don't like what they see, so they're going to take a timeout real quick.
I would say that was like a more like a regrouping timeout just to reset the defense.
Yep, so stay tuned for the halftime performance. We'll try to leave the microphones on so you can see we've got a performance from the Oak Ridge Band, the cheerleaders, and, of course, the Oak Ridge Dance Team. So stick around for that. So as always, viewers, we thank you for being here with us at Trojan Pride Sports Marketing, all 300 and some odd of you. Second and 10, the Bulldogs back out on the field after the Trojan timeout. And looks like might try a shot here. Flores in motion. Mack dropping back. Steps up. Fires a deep ball. Trojan safeties are there, but that ball is overthrown. Intended target. That's Flores. And with that, we're going to go into halftime. Bulldogs up 21-13 here at Trojan Stadium. We'll be back to bring in the third quarter.
started. Great job, dance team. Great job. Trojan fans, and this team needs no introduction, but they're going to get one anyway. The Oak Ridge High School Dance Team 2020 National Champs. Welcome to the field, Oak Ridge High School Cheer Team. Cheer team, excellent work as always. All right, back on the field for their first halftime performance this season. Please welcome our incredible 100-plus member award-winning Oak Ridge High School marching band.
Ladies and gentlemen, led onto the field by drum major Alex Thompson, the Oak Ridge High School Marching Band and Color Guard. The percussion captains are Cole Powers, Lauren Cortes, and Adriana Velasquez. Color Guard captain is Kaylee Eubanks. Tonight, they will be performing Movement 1 and Movement 2 from their 2022 field show entitled Escape from Plato's Cave. Music is composed by Stephen Malone
So welcome back, everybody, to the start of the second half. Joining me, special guest, Oak Ridge graduate Nico Horning. Nico, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well, Charlie. Thanks for having me here on the broadcast. I've been watching you guys all the way from across the country. It's been going well. I'm excited that you guys are continuing all the broadcasts from last year, expanding on it as always, getting people time in here to call some games, and Kyle on the computer, Owen doing his thing on the other side of the door. You got Mason doing the first half, Chris on the field. And I'll let you take it away here.
Yep, so a little bit of a squib kick, and that's going to go out of bounds. That's a penalty on Folsom, and the Trojans will get it from the 40-yard line.
How about that start?
Yeah, I like that start. So Nico, a graduate here at Oak Ridge, was the former VP of Sports Broadcasting, the title I now hold. And, really laid such a great foundation for this club. Happy to be a part of it. Happy to have you back, Nico.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're carrying the momentum on here, especially during football season.
Yeah. So we've got ourselves an interesting game. The Trojans missed opportunity after the fumble on their last drive with roughly 30 seconds to go before Folsom took over. Couldn't do anything else with the ball after a big gain up to the 50. But in any case, we got second half action here. Trojans will start. Here's Maddox Varela and the offense set to go. Maddox will take the snap. Quick throw. There's Hall. Breaks a tackle and up for a first down. Big gain.
Yeah, great job by Hall there to keep those legs moving. Gained a couple extra yards, and Oak Ridge already nearing midfield thanks to that opening kickoff penalty.
Yeah, definitely helping them. So they started it at about the 30, it looked like. Flag on the play. That's roughing the passer on Folsom again. That's our second time doing that tonight. So the Trojans will pick up even more yardage.
Yeah, big plus for the Trojans. Charlie, as they walk down to Folsom's side of the field, what were your thoughts on that first half? I think Oak Ridge has held their ground. Folsom hasn't played as well as they would have liked to coming here to El Dorado Hills, but fun first half.
I agree. I think the Trojans, as you said, they've held their ground. They've been playing really well. Couple of risky throws from Varela. He's got to clean those up a little bit, but otherwise he's doing a great job just getting his short completions. And Folsom, they've been looking a little soft on defense. Here's a carry for Hall. Outside. Breaks a tackle. He'll turn it into a positive gain. Looked like he might have gotten stuffed in the backfield, but he'll get two there. So it's really been the Jake Hall show tonight for the Trojan offense.
It has been, and the fact that you're starting this second half in a one-possession game is already huge for Oak Ridge, and you have the ball. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yep, only down by 8 points here. So plenty of opportunity. Second down and 8 now for Oak Ridge, the 54th ranked team in California. So here come the Trojans out of the huddle. Sebastian Sutton down on the bottom of your screen. Two backs for the Trojans. They're going to give it to Martin, and he's going to get swallowed up. That's going to be a loss of about 2 or 3.
5'11 senior Colin Denny in there to get the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by the senior for Folsom.
I'd like to see the Trojans try to take a couple more deep shots this half. The only one they really took was to Sutton down in the end zone. It was nearly picked. So better routes, maybe like to see a post or maybe a corner, perhaps. Get something going on the long ball.
No, you're spot on. I think right now, if you're Trojans coach Casey Taylor, you're executing the running game fairly well, those short slant passes, and I think the deep ball is going to come when needed, so we'll see what happens on this drive.
So here we go. Varela from the shotgun as per usual. And he's going to get some motion here from Martin, dropping back. Scrambling to his right. He's got a lot of pressure, and he'll just throw it away. Bounce off of a player on the sideline. So drive stalls after great field position. Really tough if you're the Trojans. That was a prime opportunity and pretty much squandered.
It was, and it felt like how they ended the first half as well with the Varela fumble. So they'll bring out the kicking unit, and we'll see what happens, or rather the punting unit.
Yeah, punting
see what
unit.
happens here.
So Nichols on the punt.
Well, Charlie, I will say the atmosphere tonight has been electric from
for sure.
both sides
Yep.
of the Oak Ridge logo at the 50. Last season, team wasn't as good as they are now. The Ozone definitely wasn't as, I guess you could say, loud.
Yeah, shout out to TPSM's
Exactly.
Ozone team. New leader, Sam Torres, doing a great job this year. And that punt is going to go down to the 10 and out of bounds at about the 8. So a booming kick from Nichols. He showed off the leg tonight with a school record 48-yard field goal earlier in the first quarter to start off scoring for the Trojans.
Now it's down at the other side of the field during the first half with Chris Maffio on Game Mic right now, if you want to go tune in for the radio broadcast. And, I mean, we could hear the Ozone all the way across the field, so both teams are loud, both student sections are loud, and Folsom's got their showing over there right across the view from us.
Yep,
so
pretty much full stands on the away side.
Yes.
So here come the Bulldogs and the Folsom offense led by junior sensation Austin Mack. Bit of motion. I'd watch Rico Flores top of the screen, but the slot receiver here. No one in the backfield. Mack drops back with some time. He's going to scramble, take it himself, up for a first down and more. He's going to get that one past the 25 before he finally gets out of bounds.
Outstanding protection from the offensive line there on that play, allowing Mack to gain a first down. And if you're Folsom, that's what you like to see.
Absolutely. Trojan defense expecting too much pass. No one really stayed home on that one. So kind of a costly penalty. The linebacker play, they've allowed some lapses in coverage, and they haven't had anyone home on those quarterback runs. They've been fortunate a couple times. Not so much that one. So now Mack will operate with a man in the backfield. Handoff. That's Ontario Smith Jr. Doesn't get too far. Trojans will swallow him up pretty quickly. Only a gain of 3.
I think it's a matter of time before the Bulldogs really enforce the offense to Rico Flores.
Yeah, he's been held quiet so far tonight, which is quite surprising considering, as we mentioned earlier with Mason, he is a 4-star Notre Dame commit.
Yeah, and he opened the ball game with a receiving touchdown as well.
He did. So here's Mack with pressure, and he's going to get brought down by the Trojans. That looks like number 44, Marcus Hoffman.
Huge defensive stop for the Trojans. Brings up a third down. Late penalty flags fly.
Flag flying.
It's like the blue and yellow getting a little too hectic here.
Yeah, that's on the Trojans. That'll negate the sack likely. Unsportsmanlike conduct. You gotta be kidding me. You can't have that kind of a penalty.
So, Charlie, these are the type of penalties that if you're an underdog in Oak Ridge, you just cannot have these penalties in a ball game when you're down by 8, one possession against a top California football team like Folsom.
Yeah,
there's no excuses for those.
Such a costly error. And, I mean, so far the Trojans really haven't committed any atrocious penalties. That's really the first big one, I would say.
I would agree with you. It's definitely a costly one, though. We'll see how Folsom fares after that penalty.
So the Bulldogs awaiting the officials here, getting ready. But they're ready to continue this drive, try to increase their lead here. 8:45 in the third left to go. So last week, Folsom coming off of a big win against a top-ranked De La Salle team, 24-20 win in the fourth quarter. Austin Mack, in fact, on a rushing touchdown to seal the game in the fourth quarter with seconds left on that clock. So he's got that clutch gene in him, you can tell.
Sure does.
So he gets ready to keep this drive going. Takes a snap with time. Pressure now, finally, and he'll get brought down by the Trojans. I think they might rule him falling forward for 1 or 2.
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like he did pick up a couple there. But nonetheless, a great defensive play by the Trojans.
Yeah.
Their defense has been fine tonight, in my opinion. A couple long plays from Folsom, but other than that, they've held their ground.
Yeah, the passing defense has been a little shakier. The run defenses have been good, but the defensive line, they're playing their lights out.
They are.
They've forced quite a bit of pressure on Mack tonight. Motion from all the receivers. They're all gonna, looks like they're gonna swap or flip the play, really.
Watch Flores here on the second and long.
Dropping back, firing over the middle. That's caught, and down finally. That is Mason Norberg, big tight end. So he'll pick up a first down on that one, moving the chains. So now we're at about the 48-yard line. Finally, the ball is in Trojan territory. So the Bulldogs, similar formation, 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. And that's going to be a handoff, Donovan Parler, and he's going to get swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage and forced out of bounds at about the 50.
Trojans defense containing him to the sidelines. That's what you got to do, and it results in a loss of 3.
So rare loss of yards for Parler. He's been great, the senior so far. 196 yards, 4 touchdowns on 51 carries entering tonight. I mean, he's definitely the hammer in this backfield. Got to be the power back. Anyways, Mack looking deep, and he'll get Flores over the middle. And finally brought down. No, that's not Flores. That's Ontario Smith. Similar hair, a little hard to tell with the number differentiation. One and two.
Similar everything. Similar attributes, similar size.
Similar build.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this receiving core for the Bulldogs, they've got a whole lot of weapons. It's not just Flores.
Oh,
it's
for
a stable
sure.
of guys. So now Folsom into about the 30 or the 29-yard line. Here's another handoff to Parler. Bit of a hole, but he's fine. He's brought down relatively quickly.
And speaking of the receiving corps for the Bulldogs, they're without Walker Lyons, of course, for the season. I'm sure you guys talked about that earlier in the broadcast.
Sure did, yes.
I just ran into him at halftime and said he's feeling good. He's about 6 to 8 weeks from getting back into the rhythm of things. So Lions, obviously tough break for the Folsom Bulldogs, but they sure have some guys still, and that's why they're a top program in the state.
Yep, great program, lots of depth. And the tight ends tonight, Norberg and Gallagher, have really showed off in wake of Lions' injury. So here's Mack with pressure, rolling out, and he's brought down. The Trojans get home. That looks like Aiden Kwan. No, that's Roland Yowsi, 33, not 23. So Yowsi, another big play, had a good stop earlier in the drive before Folsom bounced back.
This Trojans defense really impressing me.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and long here for the Bulldogs. So let's see what they dial up here. Flores and Martin on the bottom side of your screen. Watch that matchup.
Huge
Martin's
play here.
been locked down all year.
1 possession game in range of field goal.
Here's Mack, and hit as he throws, but Flores, oh, he nearly had that one. He leaped out. Hayward got beat on that one. He was in coverage.
He did.
Lucky break.
But once again, the pass rush for Oak Ridge right in there on the play to force that incompletion.
Definitely. So 4th and long. Offense is still on the field. This is an interesting call if Folsom decides to go for it.
15 to go. It is that tough. It is that tough position in high school football where you're in between a punt, a field goal, and the decision to go for it. So, might be a smart move by Folsom right here.
Back in the Bulldogs, getting ready. Trojan side of things loud. Mack with pressure, and he's gonna flip it up, and incomplete. Turnover on downs. Trojans with the ball back.
Trojans defense clutch once again. And when Mack threw that ball up, that could have been dicey for Folsom.
Absolutely.
Could have been an interception, a fumble, anything, but I think the Bulldogs are lucky to get away with an incompletion right there.
Yeah, you can clearly hear over us the crowd getting wild off of that big stop. So now the Trojan offense, similar field positioning, similar start to the drive that happened last time off of the out-of-bounds kickoff.
They're knocking on the door.
Got a real chance to get right back in the game. So big formation, couple of backs for Varela. In command of the offense, takes the snap, hands it off. No, play action. He's going to fire. He's got Sutton, but too far on that throw. Sutton could have wrestled it. He had positioning on the back there.
He did. I like the call by Coach Taylor right there. Speaking of the deep threat, Charlie, there you go. Hey, they had a shot.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
And Sutton playing semi one-handed. You can see he's got the wrap
Yes.
on his left arm, I do believe.
So what's the explanation on that exactly?
I
Fill me in
believe
a little bit.
it's a hand injury of some sort, but he's been playing through it.
Wow.
And he's athletic enough, and he's got such good hands that he can really play one-handed. But he uses that other hand to still hold the ball against his body, so he's not completely one-handed. In any case, this is a handoff. Hall with some room. Gets it around after cutting to the left side of things. That's going to be about a 5-yard gain.
It's a good gain right there from Hall, keeping his feet moving. And back to Sutton. That is really rare to me. Someone wrapping their one hand and playing with the other. So
yeah, he is
impressive
such a
stuff.
talented guy. I mean, obviously the best receiver, in this game is going to be Flores, but I mean, Sutton's got something to say.
He
He's
does.
plenty talented in his own right. Definitely the best receiver on the Trojan team. So in any case, 3rd and 4 now. Varela in the shotgun with 11 personnel. Finally takes a snap. Looking, rolling out. He's going to try to take it himself. He's got it, and he'll go out of bounds. A great play from Maddox Varela. Heads up.
Yeah, Varela being the captain of this team, directing Sutton for the block. And it's an Oak Ridge first down.
Yeah, big first down. That's going to bring it to the 50-yard line now. Trojans getting it moving a little bit. They seem a little more alive right now. I think that momentum from the defensive stop is carrying over.
Yes.
So for those of you who weren't here last week, Trojans routed the Pittman Pride 61-0 last week. So they've outscored their opponents, I believe, 282 to 10.
Yeah.
So Folsom obviously scoring quite a bit right now.
First real test tonight.
So here's a handoff to Hall, and he can't get too far. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Bulldogs contained him this time. Connor Denny, the outside linebacker, making that stop.
I think we said this the last 2 drives, but each drive is getting bigger and bigger for the Trojans. You never know when Folsom's going to break out and score those 1 or 2 touchdowns within minutes.
Right.
It's now or never for Oak Ridge, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So 2nd and 10, the Trojan offense lining up wide. There's Martin in the backfield. Might get him involved with a screen or something. Varela dropping back. Quick throw. Outside. Did Sutton get it?
I think he did.
Yes, I believe they're going to rule that a catch. So an excellent grab, leaning out with his good hand. Snagged it.
And
What
that's
can I
why he's
say?
playing through the injury.
Exactly. He's so important to this Trojan passing game. And he takes a big shot at the end of that, but
Yes.
he's up. He's good.
This guy is a competitor.
Oh, for sure. So they're going to call that about a 4-yard gain. That's going to leave us 3rd and 6 here for the Trojans. So similar formation, 11 personnel. Varela's going to roll out to his right with pressure, and he's going to go down.
Wow.
Costly sack.
I think he got knocked down by his own teammate.
Yeah, it looks like he might have gotten tripped up a little bit.
Yeah, that was 54, Cade Fair in there. A little bit of confusion from the Oak Ridge offense, and they think a Folsom defender actually shoved into Fair, which then caused Varela to go down. But
So another drive that stalls out, and the Trojans, they've got to convert on 3rd down if they're going to get back into this game. Still 8 points out. 3 minutes and roughly 30 seconds left now. Carson Nichols here to punt. Showed off his leg with a coffin corner inside the 10 last time. And this one much shorter, bounces past the 20, past the 15, and down to about the 10. So another great punt.
yeah, big Trojans bounce right there, and also a high snap
Yeah,
right as the play started. So
looks like he didn't quite get enough of the leg on it, but favorable bounces.
yep.
So that's going to bring back the Folsom Bulldogs offense, getting set up here. Ready to go, trying to put this game a little more out of reach. Needing a touchdown here. but credit to Dwight Martin. He's been locking down Flores for the most part. He hasn't had a ton of targets. So we're going to get a handoff here. I believe that is Abram Woodson, number 26. And that one stopped pretty short. Maybe a yard or two. Yep, 2nd and 9 officially. So, I mean, Austin Mack has been very solid tonight. You know, 3-star recruit in his junior year right now. He's got a couple of offers, but he's been really stellar. He's got some motion. Mack dropping back with pressure, rolling out. He's going to take it himself. Trojans get there. Ooh, knocked into a cameraman, and there's a flag for a late hit. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I don't think I agree with that call, quite frankly. I mean, he got pushed out of bounds, and then he hit the camera person that was there. I don't really think that's unnecessary roughness.
I think the force of the hit is what caused the refs to throw the flag there. It wasn't even a moderate push out of bounds. It was a pretty aggressive one. I think that's
I'll give you that.
the determining factor there.
But yeah, that's a costly 15-yarder that would have been a 3rd down, is now 1st and 10 from the 32 now. So the Trojans kicking themselves another big penalty that they've given up.
Yep, the unsportsmanlike conduct on the last drive for the Bulldogs.
So Flores in motion. He's going to get the handoff here, showing off the speed, but he's going to get oh, wow, look at this.
Wow.
Looked like he might have got tackled at the line of scrimmage, but he takes it up to about a 5-yard gain.
Able to stop his feet, let the defenders go by, and gain 4 or 5 yards because of that.
So just a wonderful job by Flores. And now we've got 2nd and 5. Bulldogs getting set. Mack drops back. Plenty of time. He's going to air it out. He's got Flores wide open. And that's going to be a Bulldogs touchdown. He'll walk into the end zone. Rico Flores Jr., they call him Lil Reek, like Tyreek Hill, the notorious NFL speedster, now a Miami Dolphin.
Ka-ching. Flores, I mean, he was completely wide. No Oak Ridge defender within 15 yards of him.
Yeah.
Walks into the end zone like you mentioned, Charlie. And there's that touchdown that we were looking for out of Folsom because of those last few drives by Oak Ridge stalling out. So here we are, 27-13.
Yep, and now we've got Jake Tremaine ready for the extra point, and you can just tell that's got the wind out of the Trojan side sails. The ozone, the parents, it's relatively lifeless over here now. Tremaine's kick up and good. So with that, we'll finally get our first break of the 3rd quarter as we await kickoff in a minute or so. So we'll be back right after this. So here we go, back in Trojan Stadium. Trojan Pride Sports Marketing live on YouTube. Bulldogs after the long touchdown. Rico Flores Jr., Austin Mack on that big connection. So here's the kickoff from Jake Tremaine. Officials getting set up. Just waiting for the official to get back. The line judge, it looks like. So I wonder what the strategy is. Wonder if Folsom's gonna let Oak Ridge return it, or if they're just gonna kick it for a touchback. And here we go. Finally, Tremaine sends it deep. It's a little short. And there's Guthmiller turning a corner and finally brought down an excellent tackle. And he'll only get to about the 22. I believe that's Colin Denny on the tackle.
That was a great tackle. Slade Wilson, it looks to be.
Slade Wilson. All right. Number 17.
Yeah,
Slade
senior
Wilson.
for that Folsom defense. So here we go. Oak Ridge back at their own 18, down 2 possessions. Charlie, it's all right here. It's in the hands. They got to do something with it.
This drive has to come up with a touchdown. Low snap. They'll get the handoff. Here's Hall, and he's gonna get stuffed. Quite frankly, he didn't go anywhere really.
Well, I think going back to your deep pass threat, it might have to come in handy here for Oak Ridge, taking some chances deep. The running game is stalled just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You still have your, if you gain 5 to 7 yards of play on the ground, you're sitting pretty. But
yeah, but Hall he's been held quiet his past couple carries.
He has been, yes.
Maybe you tried letting Dwight Martin break one off. He's showed off the long speed. His longest touchdown, I believe, is 89 yards, and that was rushing. Here's a screen pass. And that goes nowhere, I believe. That's Caden Koshik. Yep. And
I will give credit on that play
that's
to
Hall, actually. Sorry.
I will give credit on that play to Varela, though, for getting that ball off. That would have been about a 15-yard loss for the Trojans, but they turned something out of nothing. So
even still, it's 3rd and 13.
It is, yeah.
30 seconds left here in the quarter. This is looking a little grim for the Trojans. Nobody involved right now, at least on the fan side of things. So 3 wide. Trojans set. Varela will drop back. Clean pocket. Sutton, right through his hands. Tipped off and goes incomplete.
They had a hole right there. Great route by Sutton, just unable to come down with it. And those are the mistakes from Oak Ridge that you cannot afford in ball games like this.
So we've got an injured Bulldog on the field. So if I had to guess, we might get an injury timeout here.
Well, Charlie, we're about almost 2 months into the school year, about a month and a half. What have been the highlights this year so far?
Highlights this year. The football team, certainly
sure.
the 5-0 start. I mean, it's been pretty incredible. Obviously, heading into the fourth quarter, or what will be the fourth quarter in a couple seconds here, 28-13, this ball game, a little rough. But just Oak Ridge sports in general, the Oak Ridge volleyball team, they've been lights out so far. They've only lost 2 games, both to St. Mary's of Stockton, actually. So interesting little rivalry brewing there. But after last year's section championship team, they're looking really good.
That was a fun run last year.
Oh, my Lord, yes. Such a fun sport.
And women's sports in general last year killed it.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I think this year we're going to be in for another treat.
Yes.
Especially with both the soccer team and the volleyball team. They'll be good as always. So next week, actually, we've got tennis. We're live streaming tennis on
There we go.
October 6th. That is Thursday. So tune in. We'll be live at 3:30. So it's an early stream, but that's when tennis starts. So that's when we got to be there. So make sure you tune into that one. We'll be live from Broadstone Country Club in Folsom.
Yes, sir.
Where that's the home court for the Trojans.
Can we expect some potential interviews?
It is possible. We've got scheduled interviews with golf also next week in lieu of a stream, as we've had some technical difficulties in the past, so we're going to get some content out there. Media Day interviews from a week or so ago are in development. We're getting those edited. We'll have those out as well. So yeah, a lot of big things here at TPSM. Make sure you are subscribed here and also follow at Trojan Pride 80 on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to make sure you never miss out on any Oak Ridge sports content. And we've got TPSM TikTok.
Yes.
Follow Trojan Pride 80 on
here.
TikTok. It's coming out in, I believe, a day or two now.
It is released. I followed it today. I gave him a follow.
Excellent. So yeah, if you want Oak Ridge content, you want TPSM content, follow at all those places. But that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Fourth is just about underway here. So thank you so much, Nico, for joining us. Love having you here. As we enter fourth quarter of action here, got the Bulldogs with the ball, 1st and 10 at about the 45-yard line. Just waiting on the officials now. And whistles blow. We are underway. Bulldogs set up. 2 receivers. Flores with the motion. Low snap. Mack with pressure. Firing deep. Flores caught, and that's another Rico Flores touchdown. That's 3 on the day, and he has been the electric deep threat we expected heading into tonight.
The Notre Dame commit, first play of the drive for the Bulldogs, gets it done. And I think you can say this one's pretty set in stone. But a great effort tonight for the Trojans, especially in that first half. Second half, Folsom made adjustments as expected. They're a high-caliber football club, and they came out showing that here in the second half. Competitive game, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, I
especially in the first
agree.
half.
Yeah, the first half was great. The second half, the Trojans have stalled on both of their drives, and it's cost them.
It has.
Obviously, Folsom has done a good job capitalizing, and that's why the score is 34-13. Looks like we've got a whistle here before the extra point. Officials trying to figure it out right here. So, Nico, with all of the new experiences up at Syracuse, I heard you've got yourself a radio show.
I am excited to announce that my roommate, actually, who is also a fellow sports broadcaster, and I will be starting a radio show next Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's called Newhouse at Night, obviously the Newhouse School. Monday through Friday, the students get some time on the air at ESPN Syracuse.
That kick up and good for the extra point, 35-13, as you were saying.
Talking about Syracuse sports, pro sports, we can bring on guest speakers, so we're looking to get a Justin Lamson guy on there, someone like that. And it's going to be fun. So it's going to be live on ESPN Syracuse. You can go to CuseSportsTalk.com. It's a simulcast, which means it'll be streamed video and radio. So you can either watch us and listen to it, or you can just listen to it for a radio style. So looking forward to that. We'll be live Friday at 3 p.m. from here on out for the fall semester, and looking forward to getting started.
Really exciting stuff, as always. You know, Syracuse, a great program where students can get involved. You know, so thank you, Nico, so much for joining us here on TPSM. Love to have you, and hope to have you back sometime in the future.
For sure. Charlie, thanks so much. Keep up the great work, and I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future. Mason Johnson, your turn, my friend.
He's going to take it away. Thank you so much, Nico. So here we go, Bulldogs kicking it off to the Trojans. That ball is going to be called a touchback. Guthmiller was there, but he stepped out. That was Sutton, actually. Hard to see from out here. My eyesight's not that good. In any case, Trojan football, 35-13, Bulldogs up. Looking a little grim on the Oak Ridge side here. Student section still here, which is interesting. Normally they leave. But
Still showing the support.
Varela takes a low snap. He's got pressure, and he'll try to take it himself, and I think he'll take the loss on that one. So 2nd and 10 now. Trojans at the, it's a loss of 2, so they're down to the 18 now. Their own 18. 2nd and 12. So it's been pretty much all Folsom. Most of the offense. Trojans have had 1 touchdown from Jake Hall, 2 good kicks from Carson Nichols. And here is Martin getting another carry. Hasn't had a ton tonight, but he doesn't go too all far.
I mean, if I'm the Trojans, I'm not disappointed in my first half performance because they were able to make it a game, but then Folsom were able to make adjustments like Nico said.
Yep, certainly been a struggle. Now we've got 3rd and 12. So we've got John Hayward on the near side. Guff Miller's on the outside for the Trojans. Man in the backfield. Varela will drop back, firing over the middle. That's caught for a first down. And that's Caleb Edwards, his first catch of the night, the sophomore sensation. 4 touchdowns on the year, and I do believe he's got about 200 yards receiving. Let's double check that to make sure. 189, and that's about a 10 to 15 yard gain, so that'll bring him up past 200 on the year, I do believe. If I can do math, which I may or may not be able to do.
Just a quiet night for him.
So 1st and 10, Trojans with a little bit of life here. Varela dropping back. Screen pass, here's Reisinger. Ben, the main man tonight, but he won't go too all far on that one. Gain of about 2 maybe. That's pushing it even. So Reisinger heading in today had 8 catches and 123 yards, and now I'd say he's got about 5 catches tonight, and this is obviously not official. Definitely over 50 receiving yards, so he's had himself a good night.
Solid year as well.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7. Varela will pass this time. Scrambling, firing deep. That's out of bounds. Nearest man was Reisinger, maybe, but that was kind of just a throwaway. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7. 9 minutes, 44 seconds left in quarter number 4. So it ain't over till it's over. You never know. Maybe the Trojans will spark a comeback. But right now, they've got to get this 3rd down. Varela set. He's got 3 receivers. Hall is in the backfield. He'll serve as a blocker. Varela with pressure looking for Sutton. And looks like there's going to be defensive pass interference. That's the right call. R.J. Witten looks like he shoved Sutton out of the way.
That was a very obvious call. Great job by the officials.
Yep, very good job by the officiating crew tonight. They've been spot on for the most part. And it's good to see, especially with the referee shortage across all sports here. It's not, I believe this is a nationwide thing, if I'm not mistaken, but we've certainly felt it here. We had the Thursday game 2 weeks ago against Pleasant Valley on the 15th of September. That was due to the circumstances regarding officials. So 1st and 10 now following the penalty. Trojans have the ball at the 46 of the Bulldogs. Same 3 receiver set. Hall in motion. Varela screen pass. Sutton's got it. And he gets tripped up a little bit, but he'll take that for a good gain of about 4, maybe 5. And Trojan down on the ground. I believe that's Sutton. That's not good.
He looks like he's in pain.
Yeah, it looks like considerable. They're going to remove his helmet. So we're going to take a break while they sort out this injury. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. So after the injury timeout, Sebastian Sutton was the man down. He walks up and gets off the field under his own power, always encouraging. Ozone chanting, "We love Seb," as in Sebastian Sutton. And there's Jake Hall on the second down carry. Looks like he's going to get that first down. So that'll move the chains. Jake Hall doing his usual stuff. So hopefully Sutton doesn't miss extended time. Already missed 1 game because of the hand injury. Crucial part of the offense. Would not be good if he missed more.
I'm sure we'll get news on him maybe sometime tomorrow or maybe at the end of the night.
Perhaps. In any case, Trojans set up 2 receivers wide. There's Malloy in motion to the other side. And play action. Varela's got his man there. That's Reisinger. Makes a little bit of a move out at about the 20. So good catch and run. Reisinger looking like a yards after catch monster. A little George Kittle-esque if you ask me.
I would compare him to George Kittle as well.
George Kittle, the famous tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, for those who don't know. Does a spectacular job breaking tackles and always gets a lot of yards after the catch.
One of the top 3 tight ends in the NFL.
Absolutely. One of the best. Varela's going to get Malloy in motion once more. Takes a snap, hands it off to Hall, and he'll fall forward for a couple maybe. But that play gets stopped pretty shortly. Gain of about 2. 2nd and 8. Trojans just past the 20, so they're in the red zone. Trojan offense out after the huddle. Anderson in place of Sutton. He's on the near side. Guffmiller and Hayward to the far side. There's Koshik in the backfield. Varella's going to pass this one. He's going to roll out to his left. Passes over the middle. That one, is that caught by Hayward? No, they're going to rule it incomplete. Would have been a good play up to about the 5, but Hayward can't quite hang on to it. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Trojans. They'll likely come away with a field goal, if nothing, on this drive. Carson Nichols, the Iceman, pretty clutch. Hard for him to miss many. Oh, looks like we got a flag. That's 10 yards against the Trojans. 2nd and pretty long. 23 to be exact. Ooh. That's a costly error.
More like a silly error as well.
Varela. And doesn't get the handoff properly. And Varela is going to get stopped short.
I think Varela just took an option play.
So just like that, the Trojans down to 3rd and 25 after the penalty and the loss of yards. And they were in scoring position, but another squandered opportunity, and that's kind of been the theme tonight. Got ourselves an interesting game. The 5-0 Del Oro playing 5-0 Granite Bay. Both teams in the same league as the Trojans and the Bulldogs. And Del Oro leading 21-10 with 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So interesting scoreboard watching there. Anyways, Varela drops back, heaving it deep, and that's intercepted, his first of the year. Return to the 50 now, down to the 30, the 20, making a move, I believe. That looks like Flores to me. Hard to say, either Flores or Smith. No, that's number 5, Greco Carrillo, the free safety senior. And Varela's first interception of the year, and that one costly. So that's a dagger right into the heart of the Trojans.
Definitely probably put the icing on the cake with that interception.
So now we've got 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. And they're going to start at the 15-yard line. An excellent return from Carrillo. Also plays running back in addition to free safety, so you know he's got some speed, and he showed it on that return. So here's Mack and the Bulldogs trying to put the icing on the cake, maybe one more touchdown. Mack in a bit of trouble, throwing, end zone, touchdown. What an improvised play. And that looks like Greco Carrillo on the touchdown there. Yes, sir, Greco Carrillo. And the Bulldogs go up 41-13. And I think it's probably going to seal the deal here.
I'd ought to say so.
So now Jake Tremaine on to kick the extra point. Extra point pending. Here's a snap, hold, kick, and it's through. Folsom up 42-13. We'll be back for the kickoff. We've got 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. So here we go now. Bulldogs set to kick it off to the Trojans after that last score. Austin Mack to Greco Carrillo. Jake Tremaine sends it deep. And that one's going to be a touchback. So the Trojans will get the ball from the 20, trying to get something going, prove that, you know, they're not completely lifeless. I think the tale of tonight has really been Oak Ridge kind of beating themselves up, really. The fumble to end the second half, or the first half rather, and then the 2 stalled drives to begin the second half. Couldn't get out of their own way.
Also the Sutton injury, and then the Varela first interception of the year.
Yep, it's been a little unfortunate for the Trojans, but I believe it's been, the first half was a very strong showing. And, you know, the rest of the league, Granite Bay, Rockland, Del Oro, they're not Folsom, obviously. So I think these next couple of weeks are going to be some really competitive matchups.
Winnable matchups as well.
Absolutely. And looks like we might get some movement here on the penalty. False start on the Bulldogs, the defense. So that'll move the ball up 5 yards.
Looks like that was on the defensive line.
Looks like it's on the Is it on the Trojans? Looks like we've got a bit of confusion here from the officials. Yep, it's on the Trojans. They signaled that it was on Folsom. In any case, we will be streaming in 2 weeks Folsom, Oak Ridge, and Whitney. That'll be the homecoming game. And then 2 weeks after that will be Oak Ridge Del Oro for senior night. As ball up the middle. Looks like that's Hall. Doesn't go too all far. So stay tuned for those 2 games. They will certainly be good ones.
Especially the senior night.
Yep, against Del Oro. That'll be a fun one. So now we've got 2nd and 12. We'll get a pickup of 3 officially on that carry. So the Trojans at the 18. Got a lot of space ahead of them, a lot of field. See how they do it. And Varela in play action finds his man. That is Edwards. Big gain, and I believe that's going to be a first. Yes, that will move the chains. Edwards, once again, another chain mover. So he's had some solid play. Hasn't seen a ton of action tonight.
Folsom's second passing game was able to just calm him down tonight with his size and with the speed he has.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. 3 receivers wide. Varela dropping back. Signaling, he'll take it himself and out of bounds around the 35, they're going to call it. So gain of 3 is going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Trojans. So good takeaways, though, for the Trojans. The running game was pretty strong, especially in the first half. Jake Hall, feed him some more carries and let him work. He had some really good runs, some good five-yard plus chunk plays, wearing down the defense for the Bulldogs. I think they need to stick to that in their next couple of games. Here's Caden Koshik on the run, and he'll take that one for a couple of yards, bring up 3rd and about 3 or 4. And additionally, the short passing game for the Trojans also worked really well, and they should carry that into the next couple of games. Obviously, they couldn't dial up a ton of long ones, so something to work on there. Varela back to the huddle, gives the play to the team. We got 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 now. 2 receivers on the boundary, 2 people in the backfield for Oak Ridge. Handoff, here's Hall, and he's going to get that first down and a little more to the 45-yard line. So clock running, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left.
So Charlie, what do you think the positives were for tonight for the Trojans?
Well, I think the running game with Hall, like I said, the short passing game was good. Carson Nichols, record-breaking field goal. He's been solid and great, really, today and really the whole year. So, and really the defense wasn't bad. Varela airs this one out. He's got a man. That is right through the hands. I believe that's Anderson. Jaden Anderson almost had it. A beautifully placed ball from Varela. And like that play there, that was good. Just Anderson couldn't quite hold on to it. But Varela, I like that. They need to dial that up more this season.
Yeah.
I think in the next couple games. That's a positive, I would say. So the Trojans getting set. 2nd and 10. Varela takes the snap. Play action with pressure. And he's going to take this one himself. And he'll fall forward for a gain of about 4. Up to about the 49, 48-yard line. So they're going to call that a gain of 5. So we'll have 3rd and 5 now from the midfield stripe. Two receivers to the far side. That's Anderson and Hayward. Varela takes his low snap, hands it off to Hall, and Jake Hall taking it on 3rd down, brings it up the middle, and that's going to move the chains. Trojans showing off some signs of life late here in the 4th quarter. 2 minutes and rolling, 2 minutes 22 and rolling.
But it's too late for the life, but it's always just good not to throw in the towel completely.
Absolutely. You want to get some more points on the board, show that you're not done, you don't give up. So this is Colton Welsh here at quarterback. He's going to throw deep to nobody. Looks like he thought Malloy was going to break inside, but he went outside.
So miscommunication between new quarterback and a new target.
Yep, Malloy and Welsh couldn't quite dial that one up. So Trojans out of the huddle, under 2 minutes to go. Koshik is in the backfield. Welsh hands it off. Koshik with a bit of a hole. And that's going to be up close to the 1st down. So 9-yard pickup. And we're going to get 3rd and short. So Welsh doing a good job in this appearance so far. Two receivers wide, 2 in the backfield, handoff, and up the middle. I think they're gonna rule Dwight Martin getting that one. That'll move the chains on forward progress. So we've got just about a minute left in the 4th quarter now. Student section is clearing out in droves now.
It's like the Folsom Bulldogs just sucked the energy right out of them.
Yep, I agree. Here's Welsh. Last ditch effort for the Trojans a little bit. Rolling out, fires. He's got Malloy up past the 25. So now we've got under 30 seconds. Interruption behind us in the press box. Anyways, Welsh takes the snap, dropping back, and he finds Edwards. Gets up past the 10, and the clock will expire. So that's your ball game. Folsom Bulldogs come into Trojan Stadium, defeat the Trojans 42-13. You know, the first half looked good, second half was all Folsom, so that'll improve the streak for Folsom. 18 straight wins against the Trojans. So thank you everybody for tuning in. TPSM crew, we've got Kyle Enriquez on the computer, Joe Limoncelli, Dean Franco, Woden Chompf, and Brian Sanjorzen all doing camera up top. Mason Johnson on my left, as well as Nico Horning for the third quarter. My name is Charlie Limoncelli, signing off. Thank you for joining us here at TPSM, and have a good night, folks.